So it's Monday today, and we've just travelled from Durban on a 2-hour flight. We're now in Somerset, Cape Town, and we've been based at a hotel. Boys have been billeted out, and we're going to a Lion Park today. Hopefully that'll be great, and then we'll be coming back here to Somerset College for a win.
Way into Somerset College to play our next fixture. This is our 7th, Mr Whitmore tells us, trip to Somerset College, where we also have an exchange programme in place between our two schools. A loss on the last tour, the boys were very keen to put it right this time round. We soon found Ollie Andrews in immense form, driving the side forward, taking Somerset with them. Harry Winnie, a great little run down the outside after coming back from some injuries. Unfortunately this time didn't quite lead to anything. One of the beauties of being down at the peninsula in Cape Town is the weather. At this particular moment in time we could just see the clouds rolling in across Table Mountain. We weren't quite expecting what was coming on a little bit later in the game. Back to the rugby, and Truro pressed hard in the early stages to break down a resolute Somerset defensive line. Good ball out. Johnny Wood coming in from behind in the midfield to recycle the ball and really pound that Somerset try line. Penalty's been given away for falling off his feet. Give Will Hooper the opportunity to open the scoring. With really blustery conditions, not on this occasion, still 0-0. You can see the disappointment in Will. Again, a good scrummage. Andrews out the back. Crash ball into Will Rowe. Good support from Johnny Wood. And we're on the attack again. Not quite over the game line this time. Again, looking for some territory. Will down into the corner, and Somerset scramble it away. The infamous Tank just looking on and making sure everybody's okay. Somerset came back into this game. The 8, who was an influential player for them, carrying the ball on this occasion. And it was time for Truro to try and defend their line, and did so magnificently. Line out ball, slight overthrow, picked up by 9. But again, Andrews is there to drum the ball away and take half a dozen Somerset players with him. And Austin, lovely little box kick for Harry Winnie to chase. And chase. And again, Somerset scrambling away. And the clouds rolled in and the rain came in. Conditions worsened considerably. Scrum on Somerset's 5 metre. Inside ball to Hooper. again, held up. Truro trying to force the ball forward, trying to get over that try line. Referee telling them to use it. On this occasion, no try. The game now become very difficult to play. Somerset came out strong in the second half. Into midfield, little reverse ball. Great chop tackle. But they came again. And again. After a long tour, the boys are really starting to show a little bit of fatigue here. And penalties given away for Somerset to open their account and go 3-0 ahead. Injuries to our best prop, Waitman. Penalty for offside. And the 10 slots it through again to go 6-0. Truro again, defending, and this time gets the free kick, and here he goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and he's down. Unfortunately, with the slippery ball now, it's becoming more and more difficult to hold on. Penalty given away, 9-0. Great little ball, 1, 2, not enough, 3, 4, 5, and he still goes, 6, down to the floor, up, 7, 8, and try. Quite unbelievable. From inside his 22, 8 Somerset players in his way, taken out, 9-5. Can there be another last gasp victory at Somerset, but also on this tour? The conditions now are quite horrific. Great turnover ball, penalty. Can Truro get something from it? Johnny Wood to play inside. Harry Winnie trying to get round the outside. Little ball out the back of the hand here. Scrambling to try and keep possession. Desperate measures at desperate times. Back inside again, got to keep ball in hand, and when it's so wet it's so difficult. Little opportunity on the outside, ball back inside, and the final score.
We had the conditions with us in the first half and we didn't really get to use them much, so we had a penalty opportunity but sadly missed it, and then it was 0-0 come half time. Then going against the conditions in the second half, we slowly started to deteriorate and we conceded a lot of penalties. That just put us on the back foot quite a bit, going down 9-0, but then really strong carry, 22 to try line from Ollie Andrews, got us through, 9-5 then, and sadly that last 10 minutes we couldn't get any more. We tried our hardest and just wasn't enough, just silly errors, silly penalties, just gave us away the game.
Today is Tuesday. We just got back from being hosted with a really lovely family out in the mountains. They had an orchard which actually made appetizer, the drink. All of their pears, their apples, their grapes went into the making of appetizer. We also went up and went looking for baboons in the mountains. Unfortunately, we were pretty unsuccessful at that. Today we're off to Newlands cricket and rugby grounds to have tours, then we're off for a football match at the end of the day against Fairmont School.
Today is Wednesday. We meant to have a football match against Fairmount School yesterday, but it got cancelled due to the poor weather. Today it's better weather and we should have a rugby match against Edgemead School. But before that we got a boat trip to Seal Islands.
After the deluge of the rain, we've travelled to Edgemead High School on a lovely sunny afternoon in Cape Town with all the hoopers there. We're looking forward to this game getting underway. It ended up being a real bruising encounter, lots of action, some rear guard action from Truro, and in the end a well-deserved victory. But we had to work hard to get there. The big Edgemead side put us under real pressure in the first half. Very physical up front, certainly made our players, which were now really down to bare bones, look deep to make sure they had a little bit of heart, a little bit of determination to play for each other. You'll see some wonderful shots, not quite this one, as the video goes through with Table Mountain in the background. An early chance for them, which they squandered, which they'll go on to regret. This was a bit of a pattern of the first half. Edgemead attack, Truro defend, Edgemead attack. Again though, tackles were made, people getting over the ball to turn the ball over. Brilliant work this time round. Grum working well, but Edgemead still win it. But again, that defence is there, in numbers, and into touch, Truro ball. A rare break of the first half from Truro. Gave Truro their first points, because Will Hooper certainly had his kicking boots on this afternoon. 3-0 Truro. Second half starts with a super catch from Ollie to secure it. Changing tactics. This time it was about playing in their half. And if we needed to kick it in their half, that's exactly what we did. Nasty challenge early in the second half, leading with an elbow, and that wasn't the end of it. From the penalty into touch, we had good line out ball, a good drive on second and third phase, and then here he is again, little pick from the back. Ollie Andrews, we'll pick one or two up with him in a minute, and just carry them over the try line. Nice and patient. Ball secured. There he is. Come with me. Thank you very much. Try. Will Hooper certainly had his kicking boots on today. From a difficult angle. Made no mistake. With me standing behind him, straight through the middle. Winnie caught. Penalty given, but missed on this occasion. Again, good scrambling from Truro. Dumped into touch. What a front three.
Come on, boys, let's go, boys. Another one. Here we go. Here we go.
Again, working hard to keep the ball. Little right hook from Fergus Orr. And Edgemead not happy. What you didn't see was what had just gone on before that clip. Truro back on the attack though. And this time, Sam Hayward just big enough to stretch forward and put the ball bang on the try line. Hooper again. No mistake. Straight through the middle. Edgemead were despondent now. 17-0 Truro. Super line out ball off the tap by Callum. Into midfield. Another penalty. You know the outcome. $20-0. What a way to end their rugby tour with 2 football games left. The magnificent rugby lads, very proud, and so they should be.
Shape we kept our discipline, hardly gave a penalty away. I can't remember the penalty being given. It was a bruising game. It's been a hard tour for us. We've lost a lot of players down the line with injuries, but the 15 who were left standing at the end of the game today did us proud and contributed. Both sides contributed to a fine game of rugby.
Last game here in Edgemead, last game on tour in South Africa. Just overlooking the mountain. Real strong performance from the boys shown. We had a quite scrappy first half, a bit weak at times, pulled together though. Line out was strong, forward showed great strength and good maturity shown by the guys. We lost a man second half, but they lost one too. Could have got a lot scrappier, could have lost more men, but we kept our heads cool and finished off strong. Great way to finish the tour.
It's our penultimate day on tour. We're off to Langer Township this morning for a guided tour and then 2 football games in the afternoon, one for the first team and one for the second team.
the flashlight. Chicken.
So just before our last two games of the tour, where we visit Langer Township, where there's 850,000 people living in Langer. Danny Alford, second team manager for the day. Ollie Andrews, keeper. G. Hooper, international referee. It's an experience that I'm not quite sure any boy will ever experience again. The pitch, the surroundings, general environment, the people. But it was an opportunity to allow our boys who have had a run around at rugby to just come and have a fun game of football. And it was fun. With the deluge of rain we'd had in Cape Town over the last few days, which ended in one of the games being cancelled, Danny Alford set his side up to still get a result, with Big Stan Summers at centre half, Ross Warren at right midfield, and Piran Benton up front, to name a few. Tom Remington, one of the first team players, just made a little bit of a difference in the first half to get the goal. Ollie Andrews didn't quite take 8 players with him this time.
Pedro, you've got to go to the ball.
Technically, the boys from South Africa are excellent. They live and breathe football. They play with a real smile on their face, and they certainly enjoyed that when they went 2-1 up. He did anyway. Great sweep in here from Ollie. Nearly, but luckily Fergus got back and instead of giving a right hook, gave a right foot out of play. Some wise words from Danny Alford. And Mr. Huckle missing the second goal. But Truro played much better second half. Will Rowe having a chance early in the second half, but just going past the post. James Straw worrying about getting his boots dirty. Rowe again into Straw. I think he again was worried about his boots and dragged the ball wide. Sam Hayward, who came in and played superbly well in the football. Into Rowe again. Into Summers. Into Straw. Into Benton. 3-2. First win of the game in the afternoon.
It was a tough game to play in. They're a good side, Langer Township. Won 3-2. Tough conditions, pitch was a bit wet in places. Ball struggled to roll across the ground. They're a good side. They're probably a better football side than us, but I think we were just a bit bigger than them. We ended up winning.
One of the joys of coming here is you don't know who you're going to play. We've often turned up and played the same team twice. On this occasion there were 2 separate teams, from boys that looked 14 to some men that looked about 24. But this was all about football, and that got us off to a great start. Free kick from the left and Chris McCabe floated the ball in to go 1-0 up. Early chance from Straw, but put the ball wide. Opportunity also for Langer, but also wide. Great chance again, but he is desperately worried about getting them boots dirty.
I'm not sure you're getting where you are, what's going on around you, and really buying into it. It's like you're having a kick around in your back garden. In years to come, this will be something that you can actually turn around and talk to your kids about. But the energy levels at the end of the tour, we're done after this. The energy levels, for some of you that have missed football because of cancellations, I don't quite understand. Perhaps it's because of where we're from. Because I don't think any of you will ever play in a township ever again in your lives. Go and embrace it, step out of your back garden and walk into Langer, South Africa, one of the biggest townships in the world, that have very little but have energy and enthusiasm. Find it within yourself. Forget tactics, just look inside.
It's about opportunities, it's about memories, and I didn't want the boys to miss it. The second half was a completely different display. Far more energy, all over the pitch, and we certainly dominated the game for large periods. Good ball into the box, and a strike, and the keeper did ever so well to save it off the post. Piran working hard up front after a really gruelling tour for him, where he's played lots and lots of minutes in both codes. But you've got the whole summer to be tired. Good ball in from Hayward, and Mikey Austin, who was a star on tour, with a great header into the bottom corner. It wasn't to be his last. Another free kick from Hayward, another jump from Austin. Goal, even better than the first one, with Mr. Whitmore looking on from his telephone. 3-0.
Obviously it's a real privilege to play in such a different environment to what we're used to back at home. To score 2 goals as well, to head them in from great deliveries from Sam Hayward. It was obviously a real honour to get 2 goals against these boys. They always play with a smile on their face, no matter what the conditions, what the surface, no matter what the score. They just love the game, and it's real eye-opening to see how the game should be played, really.
Some awards for the week. There was only one tourist though, wasn't there? But the person that's certainly come out on top and played in a few different positions . One of the things we said, and I really encouraged, was if you can play both codes, do you know what? Just go and do it. Give it a go. You don't get this opportunity again. It's also disposable. What you're able to do is you put that around your neck. You can lift that to your mouth at any time, and there's a disposable bag at the end. Mr. Whitmore, Graham, Sarge, he puts this tour together. 18 months worth of work. Knows the tour inside out. Can explain anything to you. Is as focused on tour as he is at home when you're on your own first 15 pitch. From us, we went and bought you a Bundu Bashers t-shirt. Actually, it's free. I didn't want it. But more seriously, there's a bottle of something there from all the boys.
Today is Friday, and we are off to Robben Island, where Nelson Mandela was imprisoned for 18 years for his 27 years. And then later we're going to the airport to go home.